Hey, aloha everyone. Michelle Melendez, Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com. I'm really excited today because I have Bill Armijo, and he is the president of Transworld Metals, and it's here on the Big Island. And it's we got to learn about some things that are happening right now with the precious metals. And Bill, thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning. And like I say, the precious metals is moving right now. It's an exciting market. And it's one that a lot of people aren't really familiar with and think that it's really difficult to get into, but it's really simple to get into the precious metals.
And I want to show people this graph that I found, and let me just pull it up real quick because it's a graph I found just right here, right now, a graph of gold in the past 20 years, what has happened. This is something everybody should be looking at. This is a 20-year chart, and from January 27th, 2007, all the way till now. Look at that jump, you guys. Gold, I mean, if you're going to buy gold, and you got to get into it because it just spiked all the way up. It's the highest it's been in, I'd say, over 20 years. What would you say?
Ever.
It's the highest it's been ever.
On the 22nd of April, it hit $3,500 for a short period of time. When I first started trading in 1986, gold was around $225 an ounce. And so if you look at the increase all the way along, it's been basically in relationship to a lot of things that have happened across the globe in the United States economically. And it's just a safe haven from the standpoint of paper assets and insurance against the dollar. It's wealth preservation.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the economy and what's been going on. I mean, you just said something right before we started the recording that you were surprised that gold went up with all the tariffs. So what feel is happening right now with the dollar?
Well, there's no question about the dollar devaluation across the globe is taking place. There's other countries that where the dollar used to be the trading currency across the globe, whether it be oil or anything else. Now they're divesting, and the Saudis are taking anywhere from Bitcoin to even Argentinian money or any currency out there, Chinese money for oil, because the dollar is devalued. There's a lot of countries that are turning in treasury bonds or treasury bills or not buying them. And right now, the only people that are buying the treasuries are avidly is the U.S. government, and they're printing money to do it, which is devaluing the dollar further. And so from that standpoint, weakening the dollar, which is a bonus for precious metals because, they're the hard asset that the dollar is supposed to be backed by. Whether Trump goes back to a dollar-backed currency or not is dubious at best, but nevertheless, in the meantime, for anybody who's investing in it, whereas the real estate market has gone up 9% a year for the last 5 years, silver and gold have gone up approximately 18 to 19%. So they've outpaced real estate, which is one of the only other hard assets other than art. So it's a place to put your money from the standpoint of a legacy for your future, for your family future, and for having something that has value to where you preserve and ensure the value of your money.
And I want to, you have a solution for people who have like 401ks and IRAs that are in the US dollar. You have something that is actually really amazing. And let me just going to show you guys his website and also they have some of the lowest fees in the whole entire industry, which is amazing. And they buy directly from the mint, which is also very incredible. And we're going to actually talk about that. But this is transworldmetalsltd.com, transworldmetalsltd.com. And I think what I'll do is just show the little bit of this video that we did together.
How it could affect your retirement? You should be.
Well, actually, it's so low. I'm going to have you explain it because you actually have a solution for people who are going, oh my gosh, I have a retirement account in the US dollar. What do I do?
Well, most of the retirement accounts are either in money market funds or they're in the S&P 500. In the last recession, and the question is, are we in a recession? Are we headed in a recession? Is there going to be a recession? It's a very serious concern right now because it's unknown where we're at. A lot of experts say we're in one. A lot of experts say we're going in one, and there's no way around it. But in the last recession between 2008 and 2012, the paper assets, the S&P 500 retirement accounts went down between 45 and 65%. And a lot of folks I rolled out of paper assets and into silver at the time, and silver went to $50.10 in April of 2011. And so silver IRAs went up 111%, where the other ones went down. And so we were able to win back money that folks lost then. We're dealers for the four largest trusts in the United States that are the custodians, the administrator, and the trustees for IRA accounts, 401ks, and 403bs. And so from that standpoint, we can protect somebody with hard assets, roll out of paper, turn their money into physical bars of gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, and provide them with safety. So essentially, you can buy gold, silver, platinum, palladium with money you already have. Otherwise, if you're buying it, like say you're digging in your pocket, you're writing bank wiring funds, and we'll purchase metals for you. With a rollover in an IRA, and the average American has $142,500 in an IRA, you can buy precious metals bullion and have it delivered to depository in your name, in your account, in the name of the IRA, and protect yourself. So from that standpoint, a lot of folks don't realize it. Most retirement account and most companies don't offer precious metals retirement accounts. I'm in the process of going to the unions across the country right now in terms of offering the union members not only precious metals bullion for physical delivery, but for the IRAs and the 401ks and the 403bs, and giving them an option of having the opportunity to have their money in metal versus paper. Because look at the stock market, it's been crashing. Okay. And so from that standpoint, where do you protect yourself? How do you, look out for your future? How do you protect your children, your grandchildren, your legacy? How do you do it? And without hard assets, which is what we've been in for 38 years, I see it very difficult to do. It's liquid. You can buy and sell within the IRA, and so with no tax ramifications. And the beauty of it is when you take the mandatory distributions in any other retirement account, when you take mandatory distributions, they write you a check by liquidating whatever it is. If you need $10,000 out of it, they're going to liquidate $10,000 of S&P 500 stocks or whatever. Or if it's money that you're in a money market retirement account, they're going to write you a check and they're going to accompany it with a 1099. With precious metals, you can take the mandatory disbursement in product or in the asset itself. So if you need $10,000, they can send you 3 ounces of gold at today's prices or closely thereabouts, and you actually have it in your hand. It's a situation where it's yours. There's no tax ramifications because they did not send you a check. They did not send you money. They sent you the asset itself. You can put it in the safe. You can give it to your child, your grandchild. You can bury it in the backyard. Whatever you want to do with it, it's yours. The only time that you pay taxes on it is when you sell it and declare the profit that you made on it to the IRS and write them a check. Other than that, it's yours. So therein itself lies the most interesting loophole, as it were, for paying taxes right now.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. And I want to show you guys the website again, and then I want to talk about the fees, because you guys are some of the lowest in the industry as far as people going to buy gold from people, or silver. And then I also want to talk about gold and silver and the difference of the prices right now. But Metals Ltd.com, Transworld Metals Ltd.com is where to go. Let them know that you found them on this video. And also let's talk a little bit about what is the first your fees, because you guys are like low.
We're at 9.75% of the ask price from any bullion house or from any mint. So we're not only dealers for every major bullion house in the United States, we're authorized bulk dealers and bulk numismatic dealers for the United States Department of the Treasury, the United States Mint. We're the only ones in Hawaii. And so from that standpoint, there's a lot of companies that are at 22%. On top of that, we are a California-based company, so we don't have to charge Hawaii excise tax to anybody in Hawaii. Everybody else, if you buy from anybody, they're gonna give you a trade number, or a spot price that they're selling you at, and they're gonna know where are we going. And so you're gonna give them your address and a zip code where they're shipping to, and they're gonna look it up whether whatever state it is. And the state of Hawaii has 4.71% state excise tax that they must charge you. So you're not getting your metal unless you pay that tax. I had somebody in Waikoloa who was
Right.
buying product, and they told me that, they wanted us to match. I told them we've already beat them by virtue of the fact that you're not paying tax with us. Her standpoint was no, and my stance was they're going to charge you $1,600 in tax. And so she bought from us numerous times. So from that standpoint, it was fine. We entertained competition. But the thing is she made the trade. She called me the next day and said, those guys charged me $1,600 in tax. And it was true. But the fact is that we don't charge tax. So from that standpoint, if you live in Honolulu, for example, Honolulu's in for 2% more. They're in for their own. It's like in LA County, whereas the state is at 7.75%, they're at 10.75%. So they're in for extra. So different cities and counties have arranged these things to get money. So we can save you right there. On top of that, we save you by virtue of the fact that we can match or beat anybody out there in relationship to costs. And we have one of the lowest rates anyway.
And people outside of Hawaii can purchase as well,
We're
right?
nationwide, we're worldwide. So we're broker dealers for the Holy Land Mint of Israel. We're broker dealers for the Mexican Mint. We're broker dealers for the Western Australian Perth Mint, for the Osborne Mint, for the Mason Mint, for the
So
United States Mint.
so that means like you're going directly to the source.
Right. This is a proof Morgan silver dollar that came directly from the United States Mint.
Beautiful.
This is a proof silver American Eagle that came directly from the United States Mint. And this is how they come. They're packaged this way. This is a peace dollar, and the peace dollars and the Morgans haven't been minted since the 20s. They did special mintage of these, and we basically got as many as we could. But as far as, like I say, product from the mint, these are a gold set from the Mexican mint. They're beauties, they're libertads. They're some of the rarest coins out there. This is a set of silver libertads.
I got the silver ones. Now let's talk a little bit about silver and gold and what the difference is as far as investment. And with any investment, there's always risks. So I have to say that. We're not guaranteeing anything, but take a look at that 20-year chart. That says a lot.
One thing about the risk, okay? Everything has risk, okay? But the fact of the matter is you cannot lose unless you sell for less than what you buy for. So from that standpoint, unless you have to sell because, I have to have money because of some particular reason, that's one thing. 99% of my clients aren't in that situation. So from that standpoint, it's a scenario where you got nowhere to go but up. This is not a get rich quick scheme. There is no get rich quick scheme. So this metals are long term, but they can be short term in terms of the volatility of the market and the supply and the demand and the increase in terms of price. So in 2020, silver was $12.12 an ounce. Look at it now. It closed at 33.32 the other day. And so from that standpoint, there it is. It's 71% increase in price in the time frame of less than 5 years. So it's just one of those things where you have something in your hand. You got something that is insurance against the paper dollar. You've got something that is, liquidable. If you need to cash out, you can cash out. We're a two-way market. So from that standpoint, whether you buy gold or whether you buy silver, whether you buy platinum or palladium, they're all hard assets. They're all appreciating. There's a ratio between gold and silver right now, that's 102 to 1. So for the price that you pay for 1 ounce of gold, you can get 102 ounces of silver. If gold goes up a dollar, you made a dollar. If silver goes up a dollar, you made $102. I mean, so from that standpoint, therein lies the buy factor or reasoning for silver. Both of them are going to appreciate it. Gold has gone up, it's backed off. But like I say, they hold their value. They've been money for 6,000 years. When everything else goes the way of the dinosaur, they're still going to be money. They might be the only money. But like I say, in terms of a crisis, you can trade. We also do 90% silver bags, 40% silver bags from the standpoint of folks looking at preppers who are, concerned about what's happened. What happens if the CBDC goes in? What happens if everything goes to hell in a handbasket? They need something to barter with. Well, um,
That's true.
from pre-1964, they're 90% silver. And so from that standpoint, the silver content is there, the money is there, the liquidity is there, and there's the buying power. So you're protected. And so that's why we have a lot of people that are buying 90% bags and 40% bags of silver.
That's fantastic. So if you guys are worried about your IRS, if you want to secure some of your dollars and get them out of paper and get them actually into something that's actually tangible and real, check out Transworld Metals Ltd. I'm going to put their website up again one more time. And you can also look in the description. The description will be there, transworldmetalsltd.com. And Bill, is there any last things that you want to share?
There is a couple. On one hand, Transworld Metals just formed the Transworld Metals Foundation, Inc., to benefit the children, the people, and the culture of Hawaii through the arts. We have a wholly owned subsidiary, which is Hawaiian Art and Gallery. So we're set up to mentor kids in terms of arts. We have world famous artists in our gallery that have signed with us. So we're going those directions in terms of expanding the art from the stance of a hard asset. And one other thing that we're in the process of doing is expanding strategic metals for private investors, which we've been geared for strategic metals for industrial users. We're authorized suppliers for the United States Defense Logistics Agency, the Department of Energy, the Defense Department, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, CACI, 13 of the largest aerospace monsters in the world as far as aerospace suppliers. But Trump has pushed forward an initiative to create private investment in strategic metals. So we're linking with the U.S. government. We just linked with an outfit, or in the process of linking with an outfit in Frankfurt that wants us to work with them nationwide on private investment in strategic metals, which I've been doing over the period of years, but it's expanding now to the point where the outlook is to have a base of strategic metals at 99.99 to 99.5% purity in the United States with private investors as a backup for the Strategic Stockpile Act and national defense and national security. So it's an area that's profited folks radically. Cobalt stands to double in the next 5 years in terms of value. Indium is the same thing, germanium, gallium, lithium. So these are metals that are for national defense, national security. You can't make steel without manganese. You can't, or without chromium. So the U.S. is import dependent at 100% to 80% in all these strategic metals because they aren't generated on U.S. soil. That's why the development now is also such that strategic metals and the mining of strategic metals is being developed in the United States. So it is another area of hard asset investment where they're just metals where you own them, they're stored, you can sell them later. They're in metric tons, 22.04 pounds. And so you own it outright, you get a warehouse warrant for it, but it's a hard asset. But we put people in cadmium years ago at 73 cents a pound. It went to 7.23. Cobalt went from 650 to 12.50 back then, and titanium, same thing. So these are metals that are like I say, industry they're essential for industry.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And also silver is used in all solar.
Silver is now a
So
strategic metal. It's made the transition from being a precious metal to breaking from its sister metals in terms of the precious metals to going into becoming a strategic metal along with palladium and platinum, because those are strategic metals also, but they're for national defense. And so they're, like say, you can't, as far as electronics, you can't have electronics without silver, without solar panels. Solar panels take 2/3 of an ounce of silver for one solar panel. China just announced not too long ago that they were declaring silver to be a strategic metal and they're going to start hoarding it from the standpoint of national defense, national security, and because of silver strand technology, which is the new technology that stands to put fiber optics in the Stone Age, from hypersonic vehicles going out in space to be able to communicate 12 miles deep in the trenches to submarines with no static, no dust, no nothing. So it's the best of the best of the best. And the Chinese realize that China and Russia have been buying silver like it's going out of style. Putin's buying 1,000-ounce bars.
wow. And you don't need a whole lot of money to buy this either, because you can just buy, a little bit, or you can put your whole your IRS into it. And getting out of the dollar is not a bad idea right now.
Whether you
So,
start small, whether you accumulate people, we call them stackers. Okay, people are just stacking metal, whether it's gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, or even rhodium. We just became involved with rhodium, which is the rarest of them all. But you accumulate it, you keep buying, you buy the dips, you buy the corrections. I mean, the graph shows that where it's going, where it's gone for the last 20 years, where it's going for the next 20 years. I mean, you can't go wrong.
that's fantastic. Well, Bill, thanks so much for this information. And you guys, if you are worried about your IRS and your retirement account, like you said in the video that we did together on your website, you should be, because we just don't know. And the dollar is really backed by nothing. That's why it's called a note. It is just a piece of paper with designs on it and that people use to exchange. But this is actually heavy metals. This is actually,
Every currency in the world is fiat money. And fiat money is money that's printed by a government and backed by the promise of the government that it's worth what it says it's worth. The US dollar is basically worth a couple cents right now, if that. So, like I say, it's just one of those things where looking out for number one. And that's what we're here for, to help people do that and help people protect their assets, protect their wealth, and protect their future.
awesome.
God bless.
All right, everybody, let's do a quick prayer. And actually, let's see that gold bar, that silver bar right there. It's heavy.
This is a 100-ounce
It
silver
is
bar.
heavy. So this is pretty cool. Wow.
That's an Engelhart. In Engelhart, this is a rare bar. Engelhart is
Yeah, let me hold it. Oh,
does not manufacture anymore. So that's a rarity. But that's a 100 ounces. And silver, like I say, closed at 33 the other day.
3333, interesting number.
And so, yeah, that's like I say, do yourself a favor, thank me later. Call us.
Transworld Metals Ltd.com, you guys. So I'm going to do that website one more time, do a screen share, and then we'll do a quick prayer because we all need it right now. Transworld Metals Ltd.com is where to go and check out the video that Bill and I did a while back on his website. Pretty great.
And the Instagram is
What's the Instagram?
At Transworld Metals.
So Instagram is at Transworld Metals. So check out their Instagram account because it's pretty amazing, and you'll just get even more information. So, Bill, thank you so much. Let's do a quick prayer.
Aloha.
Aloha, infinite creator of all things. We're just so grateful for this time of awakening because so much truth is being revealed. And even though it can seem scary with the transition of the government and what's happening, the truth is being revealed. The light is here, and we just call forth that light. We bind anybody who's going to harm people, and we allow for just the peace that we know is our birthright and the harmony that we can have here knowing that we can have a world where our children are safe, where people are safe, where people wake up loving their lives and living in full abundance, which is our birthright. We were never meant to come here and strive and work our tails off for nothing, for scraps. We were meant to thrive and be so abundant. And we call that abundance forth now, Great Spirit. We know that it is here for all people around the world. And we call forth the knowingness that we are always guided to doing what is ours to do, and we are always kept safe. And we give so much gratitude for those people on the front lines who are doing what is right, not what is easy, but what is right, Great Spirit. And we know that those people who are worried about their finances, that they trust and follow their intuition, they're guided, inspire, they're in spirit, their inspiration to taking action and to moving out of this very unstable dollar. And we know that it is done, Great Spirit. We know that all people who are meant to find this message will find it. We give so much gratitude for that, for people sharing and supporting this work and this effort to share the truth, Great Spirit, because we know that we are never, never alone. We have legions and legions of angels always with us, and our guides are always supporting us.
I like angels.
And we know that it is absolutely done. And we give so much gratitude for Bill and his family for doing what they love to do, which is the precious metals industry. Thank you so much, Great Spirit.
Find something
And
that you
so it
love
is.
doing and call it work. That's what I do. I try and help people by doing what we do.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Aloha. Please like and subscribe and share because you know I'm in YouTube jail until May 22nd. And then we'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Much aloha.
Aloha.